So Martin, a huge day for the FA, a big announcement for plans going forward. Just run through some of the bullet points of the areas that you're covering.
Yeah, I think two big areas. Firstly, the culture of the organisation. We'd like the people that play the game today to be more represented in terms of the people who run the game. And secondly, anybody putting on an England shirt, we want to make it easier for them to raise concerns or grievances to get them aired in a way that's sort of prompt and fair and speedy. Secondly, because the FA has been able to sell our commercial rights to the FA Cup so much more successfully over the last couple of years, there's a lot more money that we can invest in the game. So what we're investing in grassroots football and the game at large is going up by about 40%, and that's going to mean we're going to have a level 1 FA coach in every team in the country. We're going to double the size of the women's game by 2020. We're going to pay off Wembley debt. So you know we've got about £140 million of Wembley debt, and that's going to go and get paid off. And to make sure the FA Cup stays relevant to all clubs, large and small, we're going to double the prize money.
So to go through those points in some detail, obviously there were some well-publicised issues with the England's women's team. Do you feel you're putting in procedures now so that grievance and the whistleblowing process will be easier for players to deal with, and that the whole transparency of how the FA goes about dealing with them is there for everyone to see?
Yes, well, we had to learn some lessons from last year. I mean, we didn't have the right procedures in place that would suit an elite team, and that caught us out a bit. But I think there was just something more general about the culture, about people not necessarily feeling confident to speak out, which we need to go and address. So yeah, lessons learned, and today is a real concrete set of initiatives to go and make sure that we do those things better, and also to be open about it and to have people measure us against those.
Inclusivity is an important factor. I think you made the point that of the FA's staff, 13% are from BAME backgrounds, but you want to increase that, don't you?
Yeah, the FA is not in a bad place with respect to diversity, but if you look at the people who play football today, there's a bigger BAME representation than the national average. And we think we'll be a better organisation if the people that run football more accurately reflect the people that play football, and the steps we've taken today will promote that.
And one big factor is the introduction of the Rooney Rule in terms of the next England manager.
Well, well, not just in terms of the next England manager, but absolutely any post that we choose to appoint at St George's Park to support the England teams, whether it be the head coach or support staff, we'll make sure that there is a BME candidate, provided they've got the right characteristics and the right experience, to be on a shortlist to be considered.
So how would that work? There will be at least one BAME background coach considered for the next England job, subsequent to them having the right experience and qualification?
Yeah, so if you take there's some clear basic criteria you'd need to ever be considered to be England's senior head coach. So you'd need to have your professional coaching badges, you need to have had experience of coaching teams. Provided that those criteria have been met, what we'll say is for each major appointment, we'll make sure that there will be a BME candidate considered and on the shortlist.
And just on a couple of other points, I know it's not a concern of the FA, but you're hoping the trickle-down effect will get into clubs, but there are issues going on at football clubs around at the moment. Do you think there is an increasing problem, or are we starting to see more instances of it?
Well, I think English football is in a so much better place than it was 30, 40 years ago with respect to intolerance about racist behaviour and actions. So I think English football is in a good shape. I think the clubs, as well as the FA, want to make their clubs more representative of the people that play and watch football. So I've no doubts that the kind of things that the FA is doing would chime easily and well with the clubs.
And VAR, we saw it last night for the first time in an English competitive game in the Brighton Crystal Palace FA Cup game. Are you happy with the way it's going, and can you see more and more of it?
Yeah, and the FA were really pushing VAR over the last couple of years. I mean, FIFA for years had been suspicious of it. We're really pleased with all the work that's been done by the referees in testing for this. So the preparation for this has been huge. There have been something like 500 games across the world where VAR has been trialled. As you say, the first time in England last night, it seemed to work very smoothly.